Hello, this is StarTrekVOR, Voice of Reason. That's my YouTube name, as you've probably already noticed. Today, I'm here to talk about the Borg from Star Trek Next Generation, and they made an appearance in Star Trek Voyager and in the movie Star Trek First Contact. And I just want to talk about how I believe the writers of Voyager completely fucked up the Borg and made them look like a weak and crap and pathetic enemy. So let's get straight into this. This is only going to be part one. I'll probably make part two tomorrow. So, okay, we first encounter the Borg in Star Trek Next Generation Season 2. Q throws the Enterprise into the Delta Quadrant, and they encounter a Borg cube. When you meet the Borg, they're mysterious. They don't try and do anything at first to the Enterprise. They beam the Enterprise crew, send an away team. The away team investigates, sees a lot of cool shit. A lot of suspicious kind of stuff, but they're thinking like, well, we've not really spoken to these people, so, we've got to give them a chance. But then, the Borg, what they're like, as we find out later on, they turn on the Next Generation crew, try assimilating them, the Next Generation crew runs away, they get away in the end because Q saves them, but if they hadn't have saved them, they probably would have been assimilated. So in the end of that, all the viewers are left thinking, wow, like, we got a new enemy here, a good enemy, because in the first season of Next Generation, the Ferengi were meant to be the big established main enemy, and let's just be blunt and say that they were pretty pathetic, to be honest, weren't they? Like, nobody thought orange people with big ears and sharp teeth were really a threat to the Federation. Yeah, and you were dying to see more about the Borg, and then the end of the next season. And it goes into the fourth because it's a two-parter. It's probably the best two-part Star Trek Next Generation, maybe Star Trek best two-parter ever created, the best of both worlds. Picard gets caught and assimilated by the Borg, who pretty much wipe out the Federation fleet. They kill a lot of people, and some Klingons as well. I think they came to help out. I don't know the exact numbers. I probably should have done some more research before this video, but I'll do some before the second part tomorrow. And you think, wow, these Borg, they mean business, and they're here, man. They even took Picard so they could figure out the Federation defense systems, perimeters, stuff like that, what the Federation were planning, and it worked, and they absolutely wiped the floor with the Federation. They made them look like shit. Only for Riker stepping up and being a hero, and, well, the rest of the crew as well. That's the only reason, survived, and, but it was a quality two-part episode. They left it on a cliffhanger because Patrick Stewart wasn't sure if he was going to stick around for the fourth season, but luckily it did. Though it would have been interesting to see what would have happened if Riker had stuck around when Picard had left and became captain, but I guess we'll never know about that, obviously. So they do that, and you're still thinking, well, he defeated the Borg this time, but I'm sure they'll be back. So then there's a few random Borg episodes here and there. There's like one with Hugh, and there's the one with Lore, Date's brother, and he's got a few hanging about with him in a complex somewhere, and they're disconnected from the collective. But they're not, then I don't consider them like really important Borg episodes like I consider the others. So the next time I think we see them is First Contact, which is, the Borg are a good enemy, so that makes perfect sense to put them on the big screen, facing off against Captain Picard, who's got history with them, like Kirk had history with Khan for the Wrath of Khan, so that works fine like that. Maybe they're not the same kind of enemy, but... And the movie starts well, the Q fighting the Federation fleet, then the Borg get on the Enterprise when the shields are lowered, even not raised, sorry. And then it all starts going downhill. Mrs. Random Borg Queen appears, claims she was on the Borg cube the whole time with Picard, which is probably a load of crap, to be honest, which the writers just pulled out of their ass. She's a pretty pointless enemy because every time Data asks her a question, she's got no real answer to it. She just comes out with mindless shit, like, oh yeah, the Borg have been around a long time and we know much more than you and stuff like that. It's like, well, if you're so smart, you'd think you'd have figured out by now that if you want to properly assimilate the Federation, you probably should send more than one Borg cube. But, that's just what I think. So, anyway, this isn't really what I'm pissed off about. It's Voyager, which ruins the Borg for me. But I'll leave that for the second part. So, the Enterprise crew managed to pull off their magic like usual, save the day, kill the Borg, stop Earth from being assimilated in the past, help Zephyr Cochrane launch his first warp ship, and everything ends fine. Then we move on to Voyager, which is not pretty. It's not pretty at all. I don't know. I don't know what the writers were thinking there. I know Voyager needed a new enemy because the Kazon failed miserably, and so did the Viridians. Is that what they were called? Those dirty people who used to steal body parts off people. They were pretty lame, disgusting looking dogs, to be honest. The first 2 or 3 seasons of Voyager were terrible. Not that the others got much better, but they were just fucking. I was nearly falling asleep. It's like they could have done so much more with that series. But I'll leave that for another commentary. A whole Voyager one that could go on for like 10 parts. I've got so much shit to go through with that. So anyway, I'll do the first Borg encountered episode in Voyager, and then I'll leave the one with 7 and 9 for the next part. So in one episode, they find the Borg. B'Elanna's going through a Ponfar or whatever. Well, she's not, but that gay Vulcan guy is on the show Voyager. I don't know his name. I can't remember, but he's not important. So yeah, he's like trying to bang her, and then blah blah blah. At the end of the episode, Chakotay's like, "Yo, come down here, check this out, Janeway." She goes down. They look through this bush. There's a dead Borg corpse. It's like, that's funny because the Borg usually collect their dead, but whatever. That's not a big deal, I suppose. Then the next episode, it's like, Chakotay meets the random Borg. They made a massive deal of this episode, thinking like, oh yeah, this episode's gonna boost Voyager's ratings, but really it was just a load of shit. It made no sense. There was so many flaws in the actual plot to it, and it ended pretty crappily, to be honest. But I suppose we got a teaser for Scorpion Part 1 and Scorpion Part 2, which were later on in the season, I think. So yeah, that's pretty much it. But the way Voyager ruined the Borg, I don't even. I'm just going to have to leave it for another commentary, because if I keep going now, I could go a good 30 minutes probably. So thanks for listening to the first part of Star Trek Voice of Reason, and I will see you next time.